Hey, it's Chris here today from Huckabones Equipment. Today we're out on my back 40 again with our trusty LX3310, but more specifically we're going to be doing a demo and talking about is the tiller on the back here, which is an RTA1274 from Land Pride. The overview on the LX is going to be very quick. If you're looking for more detail, we do have other videos out on the LX cab tractors going into more depth about the engines and everything on them. So yeah, so the LX3310 is obviously 33 horsepower with the cab on it, so I got the heat and the air conditioning, nice radio in there, 3-range hydrostatic transmission. Some of the options that make this my tractor is you'll see the self-leveling on top here. Again, it was just kind of an option I stuck on there to give her a whirl, see how I liked it. So far it's okay. After that you'll see the third function out front. I do have a grapple that I like to use quite often. Today you'll see the pallet forks installed, very handy to have. And then you'll see the R14 oversized tires on here. Much different tire than what you normally see. The reason I went with these, it gives you more clearance for what we're doing today's application, what I do quite often. It's going to come quite handy with that. And then being a narrower tire, again, not too important for what we're doing today, but again, if you're doing some row cropping or market gardening, having that narrow tire with an aggressive tread will get you out of some muddy conditions. So that's kind of why we have those on there. So yes, let's hop right back to talking about tillers, because that's what we're all here today for. So starting with on the back of this tractor, you'll see is the quick hitch, the QH15. Again, the reason I have that on there makes life a little bit simpler whenever you're hooking up implements. Quite a few adjustments that need to be made whenever putting implements on, and in this case even more so whenever you have a PTO shaft involved. So you always have your top link as well as the side adjustments there on it for leveling it either front to back, side to side. And again, I always recommend trying to put a level on there or eyeballing it to make sure it's as level as possible, so whenever you're lifting it up it's level, and whenever it's going on the ground it's nice and level. So whenever you're out on location, you know, when you're back 40, two tools you always want with you, obviously your adjustable wrench and your bar. When dealing with it on that top link, with that vibration of the PTO shaft, it can come loose on you pretty easy. So if you have those two tools with you, very easy to put it back into adjustment. You can have that top link spin right out and basically have it fall off the back of the tractor. Not that simple, of course, but it does make it very difficult on the tractor and do a terrible job if you're not paying attention to the top link and the side adjustments. So one thing that's very much needed with the quick hitch and implements, whenever there's PTO shaft involved, is you do need bushings. Take it from category 1 to category 2. Otherwise these implements will pop out. I've had it with the discs as well as the tiller where you're trying to save a little bit of time. Maybe you forgot to grab the bushings while you're installing it, and then you get about halfway through your job and it's popped out and you're fighting with it from there on out, trying to put it on. So yeah, so big thing whenever dealing with a lot of these implements is you're going to need bushings on it. Usually they come with one set or two. I always recommend buying a few extra sets. You know, put them in the cab of the tractor, put them with all your implements. Not a bad thing to have, because it's no fun whenever you're fighting with your implement trying to reinstall it and it's all cockeyed on you. So yeah, so now talking about the tiller itself. We have the RTA1274 here, so which means it's a 74-inch model and is forward tying. So in that case, Land Pride has RTRs, which are reverse tying, and then the standard RTAs. So reverse tying do a little bit nicer job, a little bit more money. The downside to them is if you're in rocky areas and you pick up those fist-size rocks, it can jam up on you. So again, I'm in sandy loam, I can use either or. To be honest, I wish I had a reverse tying, do a little bit nicer of a job. And the reason for that is because it's spinning backwards. It's actually pulling your tractor backwards while you're going through it. So it's like doing two passes at once. If you get into sort of a hilly or a downslope with the tiller, with forward tying, you will feel it pushing you. It is kind of a unique experience, and if it can take off on you. I've experienced that once, twice myself. Too big of a tiller for a smaller tractor it will break, well, not break loose on you, but it will start pushing you enough that you have to put the brakes on and try and stop it. It just keeps wanting to go and push you along. So that's a little bit of a spiel on the forward and reverse tying and the small differences between them. And talking on the types of tillers too, you can either get chain drive, which is what these ones are, or you can get the new gear drive ones. We've sold quite a few gear drives on other manufacturers like Bush Hog. A little bit less moving parts there, so longevity's a little bit longer on that. Usually you'll see more tines on the gear drive too, because kind of that transfer of power is a little bit better, I would assume, on that for the increase in tines. But they are more money being a gear drive over the chain drive, so that's kind of the pros and cons of that. When talking about these tillers and how to utilize them, these will go in the ground about 4 to 6 inches. Realistically, you only want to get at max is that 4-inch to make that seed bed for whether you're doing lawns or food plots. In my case, for today, we're doing food plots. So you'll see that this back gate is pretty well closed on it. That first pass, you kind of want that open. It's going to spit things out, being a little bit bigger material. And then for your second pass, close it, and it's going to be spitting out quite a bit smaller material, so that it gives you that nice seed bed. One thing, because there's lots going on under there, is don't get close to your edges. Tillers don't like long grass. They will just wrap it up in there, and you're going to be spending half hour, 45 minutes taking it out. So whenever you have that rotary cutter, drop it down, do that, and then have your tiller stay away 6-8 inches from the edge. It's going to make your day a lot more enjoyable, as you're not going to be cleaning out that wrapped around material. You know, I've wrapped baler twine, like hundreds of feet of it. It's not a whole lot of fun. You'll get into wire, page wire fences. You never really know what's buried under these old farms. So being slip clutch, you know, it's not going to snuff it out. It's just going to kind of, well, you're going to see it. It's going to make a pile of racket, but you're not going to be breaking anything, hopefully. That's what the slip clutch is there to do. And that's where we're at today, is after this is tilled now, I'm going to hit it with a roller and plant it. So you'll see the clumps off to the side here. I've already moved quite a few back, as you will need to spread those out, or recommend it, you should spread them back out. It's basically just chaff or chaff kind of idea that's built up. You'll see it specifically whenever I'm turning corners, as it's built up on the skid shoes. So you just kind of want to spread that out to give you a nice level base to plant in. So that's one thing to know about it. There's many different ways to move that around. I've seen everything from landscape rakes to just straight blades to your loader, using the bucket, moving them. Many different ways, whether you want to spread it out or just push it off to the side. You know, it works great either way. So like I said, to get that nice seed bed is you'll need to do that first. So yeah, and then one last thing is what I'm doing in the cab. Obviously you can't see that, is I'm running it pretty well wide open, about 2,400 RPMs in medium range. And then I'm not in 4-wheel drive. I'm actually only in 2-wheel drive. It's not muddy. It's kind of sandy now, or kind of dried up. So again, I have all the traction I need. So yeah, so that's basically what I'm doing in there. So yes, that brings us to the end of today's video. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. And if you have any comments, please leave them down below. Thank you.